Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review The Dark Military. The Hunt is on.
Written, directed, and starring Loren Lepre. Co-starring Gina Marie Scholl and John Woods. The Dark Military is about a group of rogue soldiers who've taken a busload of contestants to an isolated area and hunt them down and kill them while live streaming on the internet. What do we like about this movie?
I like the concept. Live streaming is a big aspect of everyone's life these days. People want to see shit live because they never know what to expect.
And one thing that this movie tried to show you was that there are people at home watching the same thing, whether they know each other or they're phoning and texting about it. It's a big deal. It's part of the community. And then to have this crazy show where they don't know what's going on, they don't know if it's real, and then that just adds to it.
I don't know if you guys remember, but back in the day, when the internet started to boom with live streaming, there's a guy who was gonna cut off his feet for 50 grand. Everybody on ICQ and AOL at the time, they all went to this guy's website because he just he was gonna cut off his own feet. That's fucking nuts.
You're so removed from the fact that these people are getting killed or something horrific's happening. And because it's on a screen, it almost feels like it's just entertainment at the time, right? There's a lot that this movie can play with in that aspect.
We had some killers. They all seemed like wrestlers, if I'm being honest.
Loren Lepre was.
It seems like a promo for a wrestling event, which is very suitable for live streaming. So perhaps we won't dock points for acting on the delivery because it is, for the internet.
With the funds we got from our buy rates, we have hidden cameras covering this whole hunting ground.
But can I just say, there are some standouts in the killers, and mainly Jezebel. Jezebel is the first female hunter that we are introduced to, and she's so sexy. And a cool killer, because she is an attractive woman who's trying to lure people in, just to ultimately stab them. I would fall victim, I'm nearly certain of it.
Yeah, I guarantee you she would have killed you. So this movie was also really kind of goofy in that B-movie way. Perfect example of this is when they're in the police station.
And they could have been on that bus for 3 or 4 hours. There's no cameras on that road.
What, did you not believe that a 60-year-old man could be the hacker of the whole station?
Damn! Looks like their server has some kind of a government firewall up on it. I tell you what.
And then the best detectives looked well past their prime.
Are you kidding me? We the best you got.
That's why I need you on the field.
So this is a low-budget movie, but they've stretched it out. On their budget, I think they accomplished what they wanted, which I think is something to applaud.
Part of the B-movie aspect I think that was funny, and probably needs to exist in this style of film, was the menu screen with the different characters that are playing. It's like, oh, dead, dead, dead.
It felt like a proper B-movie, is I think what we're trying to say. What didn't we like about this movie?
The biggest disappointment about this film is the fact that we don't have on-screen kills. So we started this movie like, oh shit, there's 25 people or something to kill. This is gonna be great. And then you don't really see any of them die because they basically just throw somebody on the ground and they're dead. Or they snap a neck really quick. It's very strange that they didn't invest more into the actual kills, considering the whole movie is based around them killing.
It was Halloween. None of the contestants were in costume.
Maybe 3. I don't know if they were goths or juggalos.
Well, I think that was their everyday look.
One of them looked like Colin that was going to a Twisted concert.
A lot was left on the table. You didn't get any sense of it was Halloween.
There should have been pumpkins. There should have been people dressing up. It just adds a little bit more fun into the mix because otherwise you just have a bunch of these random annoying stereotypes running around that you don't really care if they live or die.
I'm not sure where you're all trying to lead us, but we plan on winning this thing.
That's right.
Nothing to fucking win now, don't you get that?
Well, actually you do. You kind of hope that they die really quickly, and when they die, you don't care. And part of that comes with the lack of sound effects. That's huge. If you're not going to do the on-screen practical effects or even have digital blood, which they didn't, you at least need some impact sounds when a knife hits somebody or you punch somebody. But in this, it was completely absent. And the only thing that they did throw in was a weird boom, and that just signifies that you're basically either knocked out or dead.
Sometimes not showing the kills are fine if there's some sort of visceral, emotional impact to them, but a lot of characters, so you don't get to know any of them. It's all happening pretty fast and off screen, so all of these things are kind of just lacking in the overall investment in the movie. One thing that happens at the end is he gets kind of preachy about like social media, and it was almost like this movie was written in like 2003, where this stuff wasn't part of our everyday lives.
You all bought the broadcast. And I bet instead of helping, most of the world was on social media. Yeah, Americans get distracted easily. You all sat back while this happened. Take technology away, it really shows the world didn't come very far.
It doesn't come across as like some philosophical revelation about how, you know, the world's going to hell because of the internet. Instead, it just seems like we're a bunch of people that don't understand it. You know, we can't make our point because we're not talking about something we quite understand.
It's similar to how people view science in movies. Any scientist listening to CSI is going to be like, that's not accurate. But in most cases, that works for that audience. The problem is, everyone knows what the internet is, so you can't, like, fake your way through.
I mean, this whole thing is Google-proof.
Oh, they must have Google-proofed this website. Bullshit, you know? Like, sorry, that's not really a term or something that you can say, because we all know how VPNs and IPs and stuff work. Stop saying Google-proof. The acting and the characters, I'll straight up, the characters were garbage. Yeah. I was not a fan. There may be a handful that you might kind of like, but no one you're gonna love. You kind of like that one girl who quit her job.
Yeah.
You like her boyfriend because he seems to be the most normal person. And almost Dean, but he's still like got this jockey attitude.
Dude, you have a tribal band tattoo from 1995. Hey, maybe you could do something extra rad, like a tongue trip for the broadcast. That would make it really cool.
But across the board, the acting is not strong.
Oh my God, just how did we not realize this earlier? They've been watching us on the cameras all night. No wonder they can find us so quick.
And sometimes it's fun in like that B-movie kind of way to poke fun at the acting and the dialogue because it's super cheesy. But there's also a lot that's just frustrating. There are a couple characters that shouldn't have even existed. First and foremost, the cook.
Chicken sandwiches are on the grill. 5 minutes, chicken sandwiches for everyone.
This movie is not like a horror comedy. Even though it is lighthearted, there's just this like one slapstick character and it was just bad.
Offensively bad.
I have more on the grill. On the grill.
That's perfect. All right.
How is it?
And yeah, so they stick to this, like, one girl's like an Instagram star, it's like, can't live without my cell phone, all that kind of stereotypical stuff. The problem with stereotypes is that, like, you're not spending enough time for them to either, you know, sink into that role or to overcome that stereotype, so you're just kind of annoyed by the characters for existing. If I were them, I would have definitely cut down the contestants a lot.
Standing here in about 30 seconds, I'm gonna put this meat cleave right in your fucking head.
It's cool, man.
I would probably have done it with more of that like military approach, just have more people on the other side as opposed to contestants.
Then you have a lot more of the tension between the killer military guys and our core cast. But you also have some fodder for the killers.
And then even the military guys can start losing people. So
this was very unbalanced when it came to the killers and the contestants, especially considering that they only had like, what, meat cleavers?
Yeah.
I'm not a very agile fellow, but I'm certain that I could roundhouse kick one of those right out of someone's fucking hand and punch them.
The climax, right? The end battle, the bad guys were outnumbered. So, like, you can take down a guy with a little cleaver.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
And maybe the writer and director have more insight.
Yeah. Maybe it's impossible. What do we know?
We're just guys on the World Wide Web.
Next week, watch our video where John has a cleaver and me and Jay attack him. It's time for our final thoughts and ratings.
Well, this movie had a good concept, and I like reality and contestant-based game show horror films. This was not a great one. The characters were too annoying to care about, from the setup of the kills and even down to the sound effects, which is just such an easy way to enhance the production value. It just, none of it resonated, and I was not a fan. And it just wasn't that enjoyable. There are times where you're gonna laugh more at the characters and the delivery of lines than with some of the really cringy one-liners that they're actually saying.
And there he goes. The CEO of herpes. Look at him.
This one's tricky because I think that a lot of people may enjoy it still, but not us. We watched too many movies. We need something. And I don't think that this really delivered on many of the aspects that we would hope for. So I'm gonna give this 1.5 Blue Meanie cameos out of 5.
Overall, I think this movie missed on every aspect that it was trying to deliver. The concept was cool, but then everything else just kind of fell short. We complain a lot about underdeveloped characters because it's so important to making a movie good. I mean, we can watch the goriest of films and we can walk away from it enjoying that part, but we were robbed of that from here too. So I don't really know who or what this is kind of for. I don't think it has an appeal for action movie people or horror fans or just somebody that likes a drama. Like, it doesn't have any qualities that I can recommend on any aspect. So I'm gonna give it 1.5 party buses out of 5.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If you haven't and you do want to check it out, there are links in the description where you can find it. If this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay updated with everything Bloodbath and beyond.